Yeah.
Oh, really can't say anything.
Okay, I will go with the first time.
I didn't say it's French. Am I wrong on that?
No, it's good. It's perfect. Excellent.
I'm going to call Rowan.
Oh my God.
Bandol. There you go.
Hello, I'm Carlos. I'm a Master Sommelier and part of Somme. And today I'm going to bring you 3 different bottles of wine that I would pick if I go to a restaurant and I see them well priced. I would, totally go for these wines.
And I'm Angus O'Loughlin. I'm currently blindfolded. I can see absolutely nothing. I'm not even sure if there's a microphone in front of me. But if there is, hopefully you can hear the fact that I'll be blind tasting those wines to see what a wine lover, yet novice, can pick out from the 3 wines Carlos has selected. Are the wines in front of us at the moment?
They are in front of you, Angus.
Carlos will explain what the wines are, and then we'll cut to me. I'm leaving the studio. I'm not going to be part of this, and then I'll blind taste them and see how close we get. Anyway, Carlos, good luck.
Good luck, Angus.
Good luck, mate.
I'm with you, and
Thank you.
I trust your guts.
I don't.
I do. Hello, guys. This is Carlos from Somme. So I prepared a little cheeky blind tasting for Angus, but this is not your normal wine tasting. Why? Blind tasting, because this is very, very hard wines to get. This is more like wines that I would say sommeliers pick out of a list because they are very, very special wines. They're not necessarily incredibly expensive. They're just beautiful wines that are well made, and some are more upcoming than others. For example, the Bandol has a very, very long history dating back to some, 100 years of history, while the Bourgoin is quite recent to 1933, and even more recent is the Portuguese, the Luís Seabra, which dates back to 2013. But the point really was to see out of, very different wines, because everyone will be able to pick, for example, an Alvarinho or a Chardonnay when you train hard enough, but you have to train hard enough. But this is probably the closest you would get. But then also with Bandol, which is based on Mourvèdre, you could go for Châteauneuf-du-Pape, or you could go for a Southern Rhône blend. But who would go straight onto a Bandol Mourvèdre? You've got to taste a few to get that. And then with the sweet wine, you could go for Sauternes, you could go for Tokai, but a Pineau de Charentes, that's like a vin de liqueur. It's a fortified wine, but we will get onto them. So it's just, the point was really to bring some of my favorite wines, some wines that I would pick personally out of a wine list if I see them well priced, basically. So I think I will get into the wines. First one is Xisto Ilimitado. This is a wine from Portugal, produced by Luís Seabra. This 2019 vintage. So basically, Luís Seabra used to be the winemaker or enologist for Niport Wines, which is one of my favorite producers in the country. They're based in the Douro Valley, north of the country, north central of Portugal, where the port wine comes from. And it's such a beautiful wine region. I can't tell you enough. If you haven't visited, you should go visit. It's this beautiful, hilly, vineyards, hill after hill after hill. The River Douro crossing through. You see the sun reflecting in the river, reflecting back to these very steep vineyards. Some of the steepest vineyards in the world. Cars barely pass by each other because it's so narrow. So it's all about this greenery, these beautiful planted vineyards in different ways as well. Some are in different rows, some are in patamar, some are just steep up down. So just this seriously breathtaking, beautiful view, and this is where this wine comes from. So basically, very, very hard rock, schist soils in this case, but a lot of granite as well. And Luís Seabra makes this wine with minimum intervention, so a very, very small production. And he likes to label his wines under cru because it's takes him basically to Burgundy, and in this case to a Burgundy village level, if you like. This one is his Xisto Ilimitado, which is a blend of Portuguese white varietals. So this is made from Rabigato, Gouveio, Viuzinho, and Código de Larinho. So of course, as I was saying, it's not I was not exactly expecting Angus to go for these grapes because it's incredibly hard. But the wine is beautiful. This is a minimum intervention, very, very low sulfur, and you can feel that in this wine. So there's a lot of lively fruit, this bruised pear, bruised apple, slight quince, slight ginger, freshly sliced ginger. There's a slight marmalade tone to it. Almost even some light residue going in there. Perhaps a minimum filtration in there. There's slight funky even. But that's, again, a wine that is not totally protected. Just minimum sulfur to, of course, allow for the wine to develop in the bottle. But then again, this exposure to oxygen just allows for the wine to go much, much, much further. So 2018, as I said, a little bit of age is showing beautifully. With this wine, I would match maybe something like, I would like to have some, like codfish in a butter sauce and some fresh potatoes from the ear, cooked with skin, and then have a smash, thick salt, just this, very Mediterranean food. And that reminds me home, of course. You know what the wine is. I know what the wine is. Angus does not know what the wine is, but it will be very, very interesting to see what he comes up with.
Hello. I guess you guys know what the wines are. I don't, although I have some sort of an idea in front of me. Firstly, I hope I do well here because, Carlos and I don't spend a lot of time studying wine, but I do consider him my coach and my teacher, and I don't want to let him down. Okay, so starting off with a white wine, which is quite golden in color. Okay, so I would say from a color, I would describe that as like gold. It could also be age. There is a really cloudy golden wine in this lineup. But this is quite gold. It could show a little bit of age in the wine. Okay, huge sense of minerality from the start. This doesn't smell like... this smells like something... It does smell familiar. It smells like... It's not Australian. I say it's not Australian because it's nothing like... It's so complex. I'm getting stone fruit. I'm getting like sort of very ripe fruits, quite sweet, a sense of sweetness, so I don't think it's going to be a sweet wine. It smells like it could be, I don't know, old world. Yeah, a little bit of pineapple, like a touch of pineapple, a bit of apricot and peach, lots of stone fruit, but there's a sense of minerality on there, like it's like salty rock, which leads me to that style of wine that we had on the podcast last year. What was that one? The golden one, the Albarino, but it's not. It's something in the essence of the Albarino. So yeah, it could be Spanish. Yeah, it could be Greek. I had a Greek wine recently. It smells not too dissimilar to that. What else am I getting? Not a huge sense of spice, although there is a use of oak, but it's not dominating. It's fruit driven. I'm going to try it on the palate. Yeah. Really well balanced wine. It's a really nice wine. So I expected it to be quality, but it does taste like a quality wine. Wow, acids really just punched me in the face. Yeah, beautiful acid. A little bit of sweetness to it. It might be a little bit of sugar in there, but nothing. I wouldn't call it a sweet wine. I'd call it like off dry. Yeah, huge apple in there as well, like yellow apple. Yeah, I think I don't want to spend too much time. I think this is a Albarino that could be Spanish or Greek. That's where I'm going. Did I get that right? No.
Going to Albarino, you are super, super, super close. So that's really, really impressive.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right.
So wine 2 is Domaine Tempier, a super, super classic wine from the south of France, from Provence. It is a wine or a winery that was started in early 1800s. and still going strong to these days. All biodynamically farmed, small producer. There's apparently only like 7 employees, and these guys produce a few different cuvées. So the Migo a little finer, silkier, the Cavassal a little richer, and then there's a third cuvée called La Turtine. And then there's this beautiful cuvée as well that is called Lulu and Lucien. Lulu passed away with 103 years of age, so a very romantic story. And then Lucien, which was her husband. So they did run the States back their days. And that's an homage to them. So this is, in my opinion, one of the best Mourvèdre-based wines. Domaine Tempier produces fine, silky, always quite earthy wines that are so Domaine Tempier. You can't go past it, I believe. There's even a beautiful movie that referenced the winery Domaine Tempier, which is A Good Year by Russell Crowe. Very romantic story. Russell Crowe is a businessman in London, but he hates wine. He hates south of France. He likes the busy city, etc. But then he gets to travel to Provence, and he falls in love, of course, with a beautiful lady from south of France. And things change a little bit over the time, and then he ends up moving to France and moving to south of France, and enjoying that lifestyle. I mean, who wouldn't, really? Let's see how Angus will do with this one on a blind tasting.
Onto the red wine now. It's got a slight sense of cloudiness in it. Oh my God, what an interesting nose. Okay, it smells a little bit like horse poo. I don't know, like manure, but not in a bad sense. Like it kind of feels like that's a terroir of it. It's actually quite a familiar wine. Yeah, it feels really familiar. It's old world for sure, definitely. It's got a funk on the nose. I'd say it's even French. God, really soil driven on the nose, like so much soil and complexity of where this has come from. I'd say these are like old vines. I have tried it on the palate and the nose. Yeah, sense of oak there. This could be a Bandol. I say that because I'm biased. I had one with Rowan on Saturday. Maybe that's a bit off. No, it smells like something like that. It could be like, I'm not too well done in like Côtes du Rhône, but it smells like it could be something between a Bandol and Côtes du Rhône. It's a ripe fruit. It's still very young. I didn't even go for the vintage, but this feels like it hasn't got that much vintage on it. Like this is bright in the glass. It doesn't smell like it's got any secondary or tertiary aromas or flavors. I'd say it's like a 2020 or something like that. But yeah, I would say a French wine, Côtes du Rhône or Bandol. Carlos has got a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Close?
Is
French?
It is a Bandol. How did you...
Are you serious? It's a Bandol?
Yeah, it is a Bandol. Which Bandol did you try with Ron?
Domaine...
There's a few.
Yeah, it's the one that's...
Pineau or Tempier or...
Tempier.
Did you have a Tempier?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, on Friday night. We went to the park and we opened up a bottle of 2018 Domaine Tempier.
Seriously?
Swear on my life.
This is a Bandol Tempier. That is impressive.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Watch this. Where's my phone?
That's your memory.
Where's my phone?
That's your memory working. That is crazy. I can't believe it.
I am gonna look at this. Are you joking?
No, seriously.
I can't look at the bottles because they're not here. But, I'm gonna call Rowan.
Oh my God.
Right? And we swear this obviously isn't staged. I'm gonna call him. It's my mate who I went to the park with. We brought our families down there. He bought a Penfold, the brand new Penfolds Bin 51, I think, Riesling. And then I bought this because this is the birthday present they gave me.
Yo,
Rowan.
talk to me.
I'm in the middle of a Got Some recording.
Yes.
I just did a blind tasting. And I just need you to confirm what wine we had in the park on Friday.
We had we had two. We had a Riesling.
Yep.
Bin 51 or something like that. But we also then had the one that we got for your birthday, which was the Bandol.
There you go. Do you remember the winemaker though? No, obviously not.
No,
No.
but Bandol.
Anyway.
Nice.
There you go.
Very good.
Thank you, brother.
We got it.
You're welcome.
Proved it. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Isn't that
So
crazy?
good. That's good.
Can I look at the label?
Yeah, you can. It's the last bottle there. Yeah. Perfect. Woo!
It is exactly that.
Yeah.
Except, I said 2020.
You said 2020. My God, you're sharp. And what's the grape again? I think you mentioned it as well.
No, I didn't.
No,
What
you
is the
didn't.
grape? I thought
think
Bandol
you
was the
heard-
grape.
No, Bandol is the region, but we get that. We
Oh,
on there.
I thought Bandol was the grape.
Bandol is the region, but you
Isn't that
mentioned the
wild?
grape.
I had that exact bottle, except 2018.
That's funny. That's
That was my
good
birthday
memory.
present.
That's
There
a
you
very
go.
good memory.
Well, thank you, sir. Very fresh in my mind, though. We're recording this on a Tuesday and it was on Friday.
But still, it's hard.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Even that is hard. Cool. So wine number three, it is still a wine. I mean, it is a little bit different. This is actually a Mistel. Mistel, it's a wine that is, fortified, but it is fortified right at the beginning of fermentation. So you basically have the Uni Blanc grapes, which you don't really allow to ferment a lot. So basically they're full in sugar, they're very, very sweet. And straight away you add a spirit or eau de vie to arrest any fermentation, making it, of course, very sweet and very alcoholic. But yeah, so it's a wine that, if completely used normally in the region, would go into cognac. And that leads me to the producer, Bourgoin, which is a producer dating back to 1933. These guys used to sell their grapes, their Uni Blanc, to big houses of cognac. No point to mention any. I think this is much more special than any of that, because this is really, really small. All of their grapes are grown organically. They take really huge pride on what they do. And recently, again, they're making their own production of cognac. You know, when you go onto this big, huge house that produce millions of bottles, these guys will produce 20,000 bottles. So that's incredibly special. This is not a cognac, though. This is the Pineau de Charentes, which again stands for the fortified wine, the Vin de Mistel from the region, southwest of France, the Cognac area. And it's just sweet, it's ripe, it's luscious, it's delicious, it's incredibly delicious. I would see this, matching with foie gras, for example, and some rhubarb jam or something like this. Yeah, so basically on the nose and on the palate, this is incredibly ripe and luscious, as I was just saying. A lot of this really sweet, ripe yellow apple. A lot of that almost slight barbecued pineapple. But then there's a lot of oxidative character as well. A lot of like ripe, sweet fig, dried fig, resinated even. Really delicious, and it does have that cognac, that slight cognac tone to it. So this is a Vin de Mistel. Typically, people would go for a sweet wine, a Sauterne or a Tokay. That's much more easy to go for. But the Vin de Mistel from southwest of France is really hard to find. Number one, it's not incredibly common, also because people drink less sweet. But let's see where Angus takes this.
All right, here we go. On to the third wine. Oh boy, we have got a high alcohol sweet wine. Wow. Alcohol is so prevalent. This is a dessert wine. It's not a Noble One, which I'm familiar with.
It's the first sweet wine we are having.
No, we had Noble One.
Oh, it's true, yes.
Yep. Di Botelli. It's not that. This is also interesting because I had sweet wines on Father's Day. So with Rowan, we went to Bar Romani in Yarraville, where we live, and we had sweet wines. And I tried two different wines. I had a Tokay. Is that right?
Tokay, yeah.
And I had a sweet wine from France.
Sauterne or something?
Yeah, Sauterne. Exactly what it was. All right, here we go. This is super ripe fruit, super sweet. That is delicious. That smells like, it tastes like Christmas. This is like a wine that you would have for cheese. As we did, we had a blue cheese. It matched perfectly. I don't know the sweet wine enough to really guess it. This is, Yeah, this is a dessert wine. It's wonderful quality. I would say that it is. Yeah, cool. I can do flavors. Yep. I'm looking at my list. Tropical fruit. Big, warm, ripe yellow apples right at the very end of their life. There's also like a nutty character to it. So like walnuts, like that's why I said it's like Christmas maybe. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like a nutty edge. You know when you have like that little bit of like dust on the nuts? Kind of tastes a little bit like that, whatever nut that is. Super ripe fruits. I'm not getting any sort of sense of oak, or maybe it's very alcoholic. It's just it's a dessert wine. I would say it's definitely old world. I would say it's high quality. I'd even say it's French. Am I wrong on that?
No, it's good. It's perfect.
Is it French?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's very, very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to associate this wine with a spirit, which spirit would you associate it with?
I don't know spirits that well. I would say like a cognac.
Yeah, great. That's what exactly.
But only because I've had that straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cognac. We have.
Do you know why I have
whiskey.
cognac? Because when I make a peppercorn sauce at home, I splash cognac into the mix. So that's when I do. So after I put the steak off, you keep all the nice steak stuff, you add cognac, get a little flame, then you add the peppercorns. So that's why I have cognac at home. And it is that sense of sweetness. Though this doesn't feel like as spirit as cognac. This feels much more mellow, much more well-balanced. I'm not putting that cognac, I don't know if I'd ever drink cognac straight on the rocks or whatever. But, you know, this for me is, I don't know how you would drink this, but it's with with a cheese, but it's beautiful. And there you go. Hope I did okay. Hope I did you proud, Master Somm. That's pretty good though. I nailed that.
Which one?
Can you believe I got the Bandol?
Bandol. That's very good, man.
All right. Well, we're back sitting together and we know what the wines are. Well, you knew the whole time. How'd I go, boss?
Yeah, you very impressively actually. I don't know how you go for Albarino with this wine but most impressively is you could say straight away that it's not Australian, and I think I can only agree. You know, I'm still to this day to try something that it tastes like this. I mean, of course, it's I think it's really hard. It becomes really, really hard. You know, there's some aligoté in Australia, etc. You know, that sometimes could taste a little bit like this. But then again, to go for Albarino, that was really, really impressive. So you're in the right country, you're in the right... no, sorry, you're not in the
Wrong country.
Right country if you say Alvarinho, because it's Portuguese. And the regions are not far. This is just a little bit further south. Alvarinho will be Minho Verde. This one is Douro, so different grapes as well. And this is a blend. But really, really well done. I think, yeah, it's...
I think if you hadn't picked that Rias Baixas...
Yeah, Rias Baixas,
that Albarino that we had last year on the podcast, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah.
But because, remember, we did that again. We did that episode twice.
Yeah.
We did a blind tasting towards the end of last year where Carlos is like, I'm going to bring back a bottle that we've tried before. And the first thing I smelt it and I was like, it's the Albarino. And you were like...
That was really good.
So it kind of had that familiarity to me. But once again, I don't drink enough Portuguese wine. No offense, my man.
No, of course.
But I was never going to get it specifically, but I'm glad to learn from this episode a bit more about it.
Yeah, but that's really good that you, very, very impressively, you take it. Yeah, and then again, like when you do this kind of stuff, that's when you put yourself on a position where you completely out of the comfort zone and work through what you know and go as close as possible. And that was bloody close. So really good.
Well, thank you, mate. Well, the second one was the surprise. I mean, who would have known that I literally had the same bottle except just 2 years different in vintage on Friday. So I think I got lucky with that. What kind of grape is it again?
Mourvedre. So Mourvedre, which is what we call in Australia Mataro.
Mataro, yeah. GSM.
So I think you say it's luck, but I don't think that's luck, because you know, I think it's you paying attention to what you're tasting when you're drinking wine. You know, even though you're with your mate and it's Father's Day and etc., but you still tasting wine and you actually thinking of what you're tasting and you create that memory about what you're tasting, and that's what it is, because you know, something that you can visualize and you can taste and you can see, I guess, visualize, it makes a much stronger memory in your brain, and that's what you did, and you did very well. So
and I've since got
that.
a text off Rowan As you can say here, he wrote back
Tempier. That's
Tempier.
right. Tempier, which
is the exact bottle.
which is this beautiful wine.
In case you didn't believe me,
Very
yeah,
historical.
just bizarre that was going to be the case, but that's what happens with wine
What are
tasting.
the
If I
odds?
was going for my MS, and
Yeah,
I luckily
you-
drank the exact bottle on the day
Yeah,
2 days
exactly.
before, then how lucky.
Exactly.
And I have to say, my favorite, the surprise package, is the dessert wine.
Really? Yeah, you enjoy it? I think it's
love
very
it.
nice, yeah.
Very, very nice. I wish one thing we never do on this podcast, we forget to do, but we will do on a future episode, is match the food.
Yeah, I
Because having
did
some
think
cheese
about
with
it.
this would have been bloody lovely.
I think about it. I have some foie gras and a little bit of cheese. Totally, I think this is a wine for, any type of cheese, really. I would think that, washed rind will work really well. Roquefort, salty with sweet will work really, really well. And strong flavor. Roquefort cheese is really, really salty and strong. With a sweet on this wine and strong flavor too. It's crazy. I think it will be delicious. Some charcuterie.
Yeah.
Definitely some charcuterie, some saucisson. And then I think foie gras, super, super fatty food. With some jam, rhubarb jam or some apple jam or something,
hungry.
will be incredible.
Well, thank you for bringing in 3 wines that a Master Sommelier would pick if you saw them on the wine list. That's sort of the essence of this episode. If you do see these names, write them down. They're in our show notes. Make sure you grab them if they're affordable or in your price range when you go to your next restaurant, or maybe you see them out because, there's less than 300 of this bloke in the world. And if he's picking these 3, and I gave him, was it carte blanche or whatever that is? I said, pick whatever you want. And these are the 3 that he bought in. So also really cool to see 3 completely different varieties and a bit of diversity. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribed. And yeah, I'm sure on the next screen you'll see a button you can click to watch the next video. So thank you.